Today's students, you're welcome. Today we'll be looking at benefits of capital markets. Hope you're having a nice time. Today we are going to be looking at benefits of capital markets. We have two specific objectives. First one is state the benefits of capital market to individual investor. The next is state the benefits of capital market to government. In our previous class, we considered the definition of capital markets. We also considered the functions of capital markets. We define capital markets as a market for raising long-term funds or finances. We also considered methods of raising funds from the capital market. So today we are going to look at the benefits of capital market to individual investor, as well as the benefits of capital market to government. Now we move straight to the benefits of capital market, because every investor expects returns on their investment. So we'll be looking at benefits of capital market to individual investors. Every investor desires benefits or returns from their investment. The primary aim of any investor is to get a good return on his or her investment. We have the following benefits. Number one, benefit of earning additional income, because it's not good to rely on one stream of income. We need to have multiple sources of income. So the capital market provides investors that platform to get additional income. Investors benefit from the potential to earn additional income from the assets they purchase. If they buy shares from companies at the end of the period or at the end of the year, they'll be expecting something in return in the form of dividends, which we translate to cash. Number two, benefit of higher liquidity from investment. When investors purchase stock, bonds, or other securities, we mentioned the securities in our previous class, they benefit from higher liquidity in their investment portfolio, because every investor needs returns, which will come in the form of cash. Benefit of regular returns. Regular returns, which may be half yearly or quarterly, depending on the nature of the investment. Investors benefit from regular and fixed returns on the asset they purchase. It may be in the form of yearly dividends from shares purchased. If they invest in shares of several companies, so they'll be expecting dividend from company A, dividend from company B, dividend from company C, and others. So there will be benefit of regular returns. Then we also have risks benefit. Investors also benefit because the financial assets they purchase in capital markets are risk-free. The potential for loss is nearly zero, because if I have shares with, let's say, Dangote Sugar Refinery PLC, and after some years I can decide to sell those shares to convert it to cash. So it means the risk factor is nearly zero. because after several years I will still sell those shares. So it means something will come in. What I invested I've recouped after several years. So the issue of I will get nothing will not be there. Benefit of right issue. Investors in shares also benefit in right issues floated by companies. It gives investors the opportunities to increase their shares or investment. In our previous class, right issue was one of the methods of raising funds. And we mentioned that under right issues, the shareholders are given the opportunity to add to their investment in that company. So the individual investors has benefit of right issue. Benefit of collateral securities. Investors can also use their share certificate to secure loans from the bank and other sources. So they can use it to secure loans. If they say, okay, what do you have to deposit so that you can access so and so loan? You say, I have my collateral security. My share certificate is there, the debenture certificate is there, so they can use that to access further funds. Listed securities are easily acceptable as collateral against loans from financial institutions. If they go to bank that they need one or two loans, they can use their securities. They can deposit their securities. So it's a benefit, a huge benefit. Benefit of pension packages. Investors can use their long-term investment as pension plan because their investment in shares, yearly they will be getting dividends. And even after retirement, when they retire, they can also fall back on their investment. So it serves as pension packages. So year in, year out, they will be getting dividends after retirement from active service or during old age. So they will not need to depend on somebody for money, but their investment will also be speaking for them. So it's a huge pension package. Ownership rights. Investment in ownership instruments such as shares, because if I have shares with, let's say, First Bank, Nigeria PLC, or Nestle, or Cadbury, I am a part owner of that company because of the shares I have with the companies. It also allows active participation, so I can also attend the annual general meeting because I'm a bona fide owner, part owner of the company. So these are certain rights that the individual investors will enjoy. Income benefit. Investment in the stock market provides a source of income. Shareholders are paid dividends by companies from profit declared. So it's also a source of income to investor. Wealth or capital gain. Whenever the price of securities listed in capital market goes up, the value of the investment of the holders of those securities also increases. Anytime there is increase in the value of shares, if Mr. A decides to sell his shares, there will be more money coming in. So through investment in capital market, one can accumulate wealth. So these are the benefits accruable to individual investors. The next one we are going to consider is benefit of capital market to government. There are several benefits government derived from the capital markets. Number one, they have access to funds for projects, because we know the budget, the yearly budget, and the sources of revenue to government may not be sufficient to fund certain capital projects. So what they do, they can access other funds through the capital market. So government can access further funds from the capital market to execute some capital projects. Like the pictures we have, construction of roads, bridges, electrification projects, water projects, and other capital infrastructures. So the government can float their bonds to raise the required money needed for the capital projects. Access to cash. Capital market provide government with easy access to cash for short-term use, such as for recurrent expenditure. They have workers. So if they are in need of money on short-term basis, they can access the capital market to get cash so that they can use it to pay salaries. Tax benefits. Companies that participate in the capital market pay taxes. This will also increase the tax revenue of the government, because every company listed on the floor of the stock exchange market, they pay their taxes, which will also increase the revenue accruable to government. Budget financing benefit. Government can also raise certain amount from the capital market that will help in financing part of the budget. Because if the government have an estimate of, let's say, 9 trillion naira, and looking at the various sources of income, maybe the sources where they will get money from, maybe like 7 trillion, maybe what they are expecting, the deficit can be raised. They can get the deficit from the capital market to shore up the budget. So these are the benefits to government and lots more. We are going to watch a clip. The Nigeria capital market watch. Forest Focus. Enjoy watching.
Thank you so much for joining me on the show today, Tosin.
Thank you for having me.
All right, then. So first, let me start with the PMA from yesterday. How was that received?
So we noticed the auctions came out at 2%, 2.9% thereabouts for the 91 days, 3% for the 182, and then 5% for the 364, which are low levels if you look at where we're coming from a year ago, but then not so low because of recent developments since the central bank removed OMO as an investable asset for local investors. Demand pressure is sustained from all the retail investors looking for where to put their funds, as well as institutional investors that were previously trading in OMOs. But at these low levels, we still think that it's too low to be sustained, especially if you look at it in relation to where inflation is in the country. The DMO recently had a meeting with PDMMs and other core investors on Monday and Tuesday, where they outlined their plans, their borrowing plans for the year. They acknowledged that while this environment is very good for them in terms of reducing borrowing costs for the country, they understand that it's not sustainable at these levels, and would expect that yield should come up at some point later in the year.
Yeah, but are we going to expect some more concrete steps taken from such meetings, or is it just another talk show from the DMO meeting key stakeholders?
No, so I think what the major part of the meetings was for them to outline what they plan to do this year. And if you look at what they presented, you can see that the DMO is getting very, very creative with the methods which is using to fund the budget and other obligations due to the government. They're issuing green notes, euro bonds, promissory notes to oil exporters and other commodities exporters as well. So they're just looking for different means to handle all the different obligations due, and as along with their plan, it looks like they're trying to borrow as much as they can now with this low rate environment. They're looking to borrow as much as a 539 billion in the first quarter alone for federal government bonds, which is much higher than other quarters combined. They're also going to issue a new 15-year benchmark bond. They're going to issue a new 30-year benchmark bond. They're going to issue a green bond. They're going to issue euro bonds. So you can tell that they are taking the most. They are the ones that are enjoying this low rate environment, and they're taking the most of it, and the most advantage of it.
All right then, but looking at the bond auction expected next week, how do you call that?
So the bond auction, we expect the DMO to be a bit aggressive in terms of the amounts they're going to sell and the rates at which they'll sell. While rates in the market would continue to be pressured.
Now we go straight to the evaluation. Mention 4 benefits of the capital market to individual investors. 2. Mention 3 benefits of capital market to governments. These are the questions we are going to enjoy together. The benefits of capital market to individual investors, as well as the benefit of capital market to the government. And one of them, we mentioned that the benefit of capital market to individual investors is that it helps them to get more income. And I told us earlier on that it is not good to rely on one stream of income. So with the capital market, investors can have access to multiple sources of income. Then also there's also benefit of yearly returns in the form of dividends for the individual investors. Yearly return. It also serves as pension packages. If an individual retires, start clocking the retirement age, money will still be coming in because you have invested in 1 or 2 companies. So that's a huge benefit to individual investors. Then we also mentioned that through the capital market also provide investors with collateral security. If you want to access loan from a bank, you can deposit your collateral security. So these are and others, they are the benefits to individual investors. While to the government, they have access to funds for projects. And we mentioned construction of roads, construction of bridges, electrification projects, water projects, and others. So it gives government access to raise funds for capital projects. Then they also have access to cash, the short-term cash, so that they can use it to settle, to pay off certain recurrent expenditure, such as the payroll expenses. Then there's also tax benefits, then budget financing benefits. Now, I have little home form for us. The assignment is states 2 differences between stock and bond. Differences between stock and bond. Just play with the home form. For question and submission of your assignment, there's a number there, and also you can also send to aremobalogun@yahoo.com. Thanks